Well, hello everybody. This is Crystal Lynn, Cowgirl Astrologer, and I want to thank you for stopping in. I'm really excited because my schedule's changing a little bit right now, and I'm getting some more structure in my life. Thank you, Jupiter and Leo in my sixth house, and igniting Mars in my chart. It's been giving me finally some structure and some order to my thoughts. And so I've been wanting to come on more regularly and do some topical discussions. I have so many things going on in my mind that I've been, just letting manifest. And now it's like, I got to talk about them. I got so many things and awarenesses that I've been coming to. So anyway, tonight I wanted to open a discussion. This is just the beginning of many discussions, including this one, but I wanted to talk to those of you out there born from 1957 to 1972. You were born during Pluto in Virgo, when Pluto was transiting through Virgo. It's called the Pluto and Virgo Generation. And I am in that generation. I was born in 1968. So I've just been thinking a lot about us. And especially a lot of the readings I'm doing right now, I'm getting so many people from our generation, and we're all kind of in the same place. I'm noticing these patterns, and I'm noticing them in my own life. And so anyway, I just thought I'd come on and just talk about a few things that I'm thinking about, see if you guys can identify. First of all, just describe kind of briefly the overall characteristics of the Pluto and Virgo generation. We are a generation that was, pretty much raised in the 60s. And we were in a time when, people were starting to gain some independence and wanting to, create their own businesses, create their own identities. And the Pluto and Virgo generation was born with a very specific skill. We're really, really good with our hands. And we're really, really good with manual or any type of systematic, type of work. In fact, carpal tunnel is probably most seen in the Pluto and Virgo generation. So in our generation, you see the construction workers, people who have to put down, if they're building bricks, they're one after another, and there's a system. Using their hands, using their backs. We have the hairstylists, and creating art, but even with cutting hair, there's systems. Any type of entrepreneurial type small business. And, we saw, a huge outpouring of own business, people creating their own businesses in the 1990s. Construction was really good, it was on the rise, and little businesses were popping up everywhere. And, things were going good. We were feeling good. We were gaining some independence. One of the common themes in the Pluto and Virgo generation is, this kind of control issue going on in our work. It's like Virgos in general are so independent and so able to see how everything needs to be done that it's really hard for them to work under anybody. They can be good assistants, good secretaries and all that if, they're not, if they're given freedom in their job, but control issues. So the Pluto and Virgo generation wanted to break out and get out of control of having a boss and become their own boss. And so they did until good old Saturn in Virgo came in 2007. Now, many of you out there in that age bracket that I was talking about will relate that it was really super hard time. We were kind of on the rise up to that point. But 2007 hit and Saturn moved into Virgo. And Saturn came in and he said, this generation here, they're doing pretty good, but you know what? They're getting a lot of debt. They got a lot of credit cards. They're getting a lot of refis. They're getting a lot of money tossed at them, you know, and they're trying to hang on to their businesses. We were trying to put it back into our businesses. And pretty soon, you know, we felt it, just the whole entire market crash around us. And it was in small businesses. We got hit first. People couldn't afford anymore. You know, they were cutting their own hair, doing their own nails, washing their own cars, washing their own dogs, you know, not having construction done in their house. They were letting things go. And so we, the small business people, the Pluto and Virgo generation, you know, we lost our businesses like that because the economy began to go. So, you know, you guys know the story. You can fill in the pieces to that. And, you know, some of you in this generation say, well, I didn't have my own business, but, you know, think about the business you were working for. You probably went through a pretty devastating awareness of reality. And so then let's go forward a little bit. We went through Saturn and Libra. And so a lot of our relationships and money issues continued. So you saw so many bankruptcies and, you know, we're all just, I mean, drowning in financial problems. Okay. So here we are now. We've just now survived a Saturn and Scorpio transit. And it was like all of a sudden, I should backtrack a little bit, Saturn in Libra, we dealt with a lot of separating relationships, a lot of divorces in our generation, you know, a lot of breakdowns all the way across the board. And here comes Saturn in Scorpio, and this began to get us back out in a way, in connection with our community and connection. You know, you see the rise even through Facebook of our generation reconnecting with people we went to elementary school with and people we went to junior high with and high school with. Nowhere else are you seeing that as powerfully as you are in our generation because of the way that Facebook has come out and we're able to connect. And it taught us how to get on the internet because we wouldn't have really got on the internet any other way because we're manual workers. So Facebook was a great way for us to start to learn how to navigate and other social medias, emails and websites. Because again, our generation is used to being out there with a storefront, so to speak. Now, everything's fallen apart. You know, we're at the age now where we're almost getting close to where we have to start thinking about retirement. You know, we don't have those big jobs. We don't have the 401ks. That was the Pluto in Leo generation that they were dealing with those issues. We have nothing. So here we are. What do we have? So I know it sounds so bleak, but the good news in this is that we are entering a really awesome time, you guys. And another thing to look at, part of the reason I'm sharing this message tonight, the moon is in Capricorn. We have a conjunction with the moon, Mars, and Pluto in Capricorn. Now, Pluto in Capricorn is in a harmonious position. It trines Virgo. So it trines this Pluto and Virgo energy. So we are connected. Pluto in Capricorn is saying yes. It looks like everything you had is broken down in front of you. You've lost your home, or if you still have it, you're still trying to hang on to it. You know, you've lost family structures. A lot of us had huge crises in our religious structures. They just fell apart, everything we've ever believed in. So my generation, we're really struggling out here even spiritually, okay, because we were all raised in very religious structures because we were raised during that Neptune and Capricorn period where, you know, church, Monday, Wednesday, Sundays, you know, the religious structures, and you stayed within that community. And we saw a lot of that break down. And they're all rebuilding and having to deal with becoming more authentic. So here we are, we're used to somebody telling us, you know, kind of how to stay in this religious structure. And we're out here in the world now going, what's going on? You know, and even for myself, you know, learning, you know, astrology over the years and now it being such a powerful point in my life, but Our generation, that wasn't really even talked about. If you look at the people right now born in the Pluto and Scorpio generation, okay, they were born understanding this stuff like their native tongue, this type of spirituality. They understand how the beautiful, rhythms of the universe work, the deep rhythms. And like I said, Pluto and Virgo, we're kind of caught in this gap. What are we? Where are we going? So I've been thinking about this, and I've really been thinking about Saturn and Sagittarius. And I really see this being an amazing time for our generation to take back our power and to take back our creativity, our ability to create out of a hobby, out of a shoebox. The Virgo energy is able to create an empire out of something they love. Many of us, because we spent so many years doing manual labor, many of us are masters at a skill. I don't care if it's, like I said, rock stone building or hair cutting or, all the ones that I've mentioned. I'm thinking of so many, but now we can teach other people how to do that. Or, there's so many ways to use our skill, but the secret is going to be, you guys, is going to be on the internet. It's going to be with a home-based business. And taking what you've learned, taking what you've mastered all these years and becoming a teacher. Saturn and Sagittarius is the teacher, is the master. And taking that message abroad, taking that message across the world. How can we get it across the world? Right here through the internet. So if you're out there today and you're really lost and you're in this generation, I'm going to tell you, you got to get savvy on the internet, and you got to get bold, and you got to believe in yourself again. And you have to create a product, because Virgos love products. You have to create a product that people need, that you can market across the world. Everybody's got something. Be creative. We have that ability to do that. Take your years of knowledge and create something, but it has to be something that you love, because Neptune and Pisces will require it to be authentic, and success will come when you do what you love. It'll come through. The other thing that's really cool right now is that Mars will be moving into Aquarius. And for all of us, that's going to really lighten up our ideas. Ideas are going to be like lightning bolts coming from everywhere, all through the holidays. So we're moving into some really positive energy. And I'm afraid to say it, but I'm excited about Saturn and Sagittarius. I want to look at Saturn differently. I mean, we've made it through Saturn and Scorpio. We can do this. But it's about creating something and taking back your power. And we have the tools of the internet. If you're not savvy out here, get on YouTube. There's free videos about every social media platform, free videos, how-to videos, how to write a book, how to, for free. If you're sitting there with no money and you can't go back to school, or maybe you can go take a class, go start taking a class and honing in the skills you need to put this in a package. I don't want to see us get lost in this mix, because there's too much amazing energy. We're the next generation, you guys, to come up. And we are the caretakers of the earth. Unfortunately, the Pluto and Leo generation before us, were pretty grandiose, and it's kind of like, you think about, trophies, or, when somebody, this is a bad example, but if somebody kills an elephant, and they take off their tuft and they're standing there with the prize, and they don't care about the elephant. Well, that's a little bit more, unfortunately, about that Pluto and Leo generation. They wanted to show their greatness, that they could, master the earth, that they could, run the earth, that they were the almighty of the earth. They lost the empathy for the earth. the connection to the damage it was doing so that they could have the glory of what they were getting. And now we're in this position where the earth is crying out. The animals are crying out. People are crying out. Who do you think is going to be the one to come back in and caretake this earth? It's the Pluto and Virgo generation. We're the next ones up, you guys. The next one that'll filter through the government. The next one that will be tending the world. We'll be like the little gardeners. And our earth is going to come back to green and natural. And we're going to be fighting for those things. So I know I'm just probably kind of going off in all kinds of different directions. I just had this on my heart. So I just wanted to open discussion. If you guys would like to add to that, please do. I'm just covering a little bit about it, and we can talk about it some more. But I just want to encourage you as we move into this energy to be confident, to take a step out there and get scrappy, Virgos. Get scrappy, Pluto and Virgos. And don't forget, we've got Jupiter in Virgo moving, or Jupiter moving into Virgo this summer. 2015, that's going to give the Pluto and Virgo generation a big jolt out there. So are you ready? Because you want to be ready by this summer to be like launching. So be creative. We can do this. Let's take our power back. And, you know, we know how to work hard. So anyway, you guys, thanks for letting me ramble on, and I'll talk to you later.